So, Bismillah, we can start today, inshallah. We're talking about the parent function and transformation. I think that we finished this lesson in Algebra 1, but we will revise and we will add some points more for the pre-calculus. The first function that we have, which is defined by the constant function. What is the meaning of the constant function? F of x equals c, where c is any number. C is any number. So I can say that f of x equals 4. What is the meaning of f of x equals 4 or f of x equals c? F of x equals c, it's represented by a constant function, represented by a line parallel to x-axis and intersect y-axis at the point c. So when I say f of x equals 4, it's represented by a line parallel to x and intersect y at number 4. Okay, the y-intercept now will be 4. Any problem for this at the constant function?
No.
The parent function for the constant, where f of x equals 0. Now for the identity function or the linear function. The linear function defined by f of x equals x, and it's represented by a line passing through the origin point with a slope equals 1. Then after that you can shift the function up and down, right or left. It's depend on the transformation that we have. So this equation of the first degree, so the equation of 0 degree defined by constant function, the equation of the first degree, because x here raised to the power 1. You know why this function of 0 degree? This one of the first degree, because x raised to the power 1, so we can say that that's of the first degree.
Because
there's no x.
There
X
is no x.
0.
There is no x, it's mean x raised to the power 0. Because there is no x, so we put x equals raised to the power 0. For the third one defined by the quadratic function, where x raised to the power 2, defined by f of x equals x to the power 2, and the graph would be as a U shape. So please, if you are not using the mic, switch the mic, because there is a lot of noise. If you are not using the mic, switch the mic. Okay. So it's represented by U shape or a parabola. So this function of the second degree. The cubic function, which is f of x equals x to the power 3, and that's symmetric about the origin point. It's represented by this graph. That's the graph for the cubic function. So you have to know the name of the function, how the function will be written in mathematical form, then how the graph will be, how we can graph the function. Any problem for the name, for the function, for the graph? Any problem
No.
for this?
Can you repeat constant one more time?
The constant represented by a function. A constant is any function without any variable. F of x equals any number. This number, so to graph the function, it will be represented by a horizontal line parallel to x and intersect y at this number. When I say f of x equals 5, it's mean represented by a line parallel to x and intersect y, that is the point y-intercept now will be 5. When I say f of x equals -3, it's mean parallel to x and intersect y at -3. From -3, we'll draw a line. That is the meaning of the constant function. So please, if you are not using the mic, please use the mic, because there is an echo for the sound. After that, the square root function and the reciprocal function. For the square root function defined by the parent form, which is f of x equals the square root of x, and that is the graph for the square root function. If you remember in Algebra 1, we know how we can graph this function. The reciprocal function, that is the graph for the reciprocal function, and it's written as f of x equals 1 over x. So that is the main 6 function that we are solving. The absolute value function. The absolute value function defined by f of x equals the absolute value of x, and if you want to write as a piecewise function, it will be negative x. It could be represented as negative x, where for any value of x is smaller than 0, and it will be equal to x where x is greater than or equal to 0. So that is the graph for the absolute value function. You have to know the function, the name, and the graph. The greatest integer number, which is defined by f of x and written by this form, and that's called by the step function. That is the greatest number. So when I say that I need f of x equals, that is the form for the greatest integer function, that's x. When I need f of 1.5, what is the greatest integer number which is smaller than or equal 1.5? I need the greatest integer number which is smaller than. I need the greatest integer number which is smaller than 1.5. So the answer will be 1. F of x, sorry, f of 4.3.
4.
F of negative 5.1.
Negative 5.
I need the
Negative
greatest integer number which is smaller
Negative
than
6.
Negative
6.
negative 5 or negative 6?
Negative 4.
Negative 6. Negative 6. Negative 6.
Sorry?
Negative 6 is smaller than negative 5.
Negative
I
5.
need the greatest integer number which is smaller than negative 5.1. So if you were write negative 5.1 and you need to compare it with negative 5, which one is greater?
Negative 5.
Negative 5 is
No,
greater
negative
than
5.
negative 5 is greater than negative 5.1.
Yeah.
So when I say negative 5.1, if you say negative 5, it's wrong because I need the answer to be smaller than or equal 5.1. So the greatest integer number which is smaller than or equal negative 5.1, which is negative 6. I need a number smaller than negative 5.1. What is the greatest integer number which is smaller than negative 5.1, which is negative 6? You understand it now? Again, f of negative 0.5. The answer now will be negative 1.
Yeah.
Negative 1. Again for this part. When I need f for this function, when I need f of 1.2, what is the answer?
Negative
1.1. 1.2. The answer is 1. F of 2.3. The answer is 2. I need the greatest integer number which is smaller than 2.3. So, but when I say f of negative 1.2, what is the answer?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. F of negative 2.3. What is the answer?
Negative
3.
Negative 3. You understand it? To graph the function, we start from the origin point 0 and 0. That will be closed. Then we are going to be open, because if you choose any number here, if you choose any number from 0 and is smaller than 1, it will be equal 0. When I say f of 0.1, the answer will be 0. F of 0.2, the answer is 0. F of 0.3, the answer is 0. So any number is smaller than 1, the answer will be 0. So all of this will be represented by a line as an interval. It's half open, half closed. It's closed from 0, because when I say f of 0, the answer now will be 0. It means 0 is included as the solution, because I need the greatest integer number which is smaller than or equal the value of x. Any problem for this one?
No. Wait, sir, is it like rounding?
Not rounding. When I say f of 0.9, the answer is still equal 0. 0.99. The answer is still equal 0.
So anything below 1 is 0.
Yes. Anyone below 2 is equals 1. Anyone below 3 is equals 2. Understand it? Okay.
Yeah.
So now we need to describe the following. Graph. We need to identify the domain, the range, the intercepts. We need to find the X-intercept and the Y-intercept, the symmetry, the continuity, the end behavior, and the interval which the function is increase or decrease. So what we need to find, I will list from the function, the first function that we have, f(x) equals the square root of x. We need to find Number 1, we need to find the domain. Number 2, we need to find the range. Number 3, the intercepts. We need to find X-intercept and Y-intercept. Number 4, we need to find the symmetry. The continuity. The function is continuity or discontinuity. Number 6, we need to find the end behavior. Number 7, we need to find the interval of increase or decrease. So for the first one, how the graph will be like for the square root function? That's it. We start from 0
towards right. Yeah.
Yes, by this way. That's the square root function. So we need to find number 1. What is the domain?
Domain is
0 more than 0.
x is bigger than 0.
No.
Bigger than or equal 0.
Bigger than or equal 0. The range?
More than or equal 0 also.
How you find the domain? We just look at x. To find the domain, look at x. You will find that the graph is opposite to this part from the x-axis. What is the meaning of this part? Is starting from 0, and 0 is included because you can find the square root of 0. And you are going to the right, it means you are going to positive infinity. From 0 to positive infinity, it means x is greater than or equal 0, or you can write it as an interval. So it will be closed 0 and open infinity. You can write by this way or that one. Both of them are right. If you write the first one, it's okay. If you write the second one, it's okay. Now we need to find the range. As we said before, if you need to read the range, look at y and start from down to up. You need to write the domain. We start, look at x, and we start from left to right. For any function, if you need to write it, to read it, you have to start from left to right and from down to up. So the range now will be
Positive infinity.
More than 0.
More than 0.
More than or equal to 0. So y is greater than, because x, the domain is x and the range is y. So it will be more than or equal to 0. Number 3, we need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. X-intercept.
0.
The graph intersected the x-axis at the point
0.
0.
And the y-intercept.
Also 0.
Also 0. Number 4, we need to find the function is continuity or discontinuity. What is the meaning of continuity, or what is the meaning of this function? If you look at the graph, this function is continuity function or discontinuity. I didn't ask you for number.
Continuity.
It's continuous when you don't raise your
It's
hand.
continuous because if you want to graph the function, you start from graphing by starting the pen, and you graph the function without removing the pen.
Yeah.
You understand it? If you want to graph this function, you will start, just put the pen on the paper and graph the function without removing the pen. So this will be continued function. There is no gaps, there is no holes. So it will be continued function. So sorry, we need number 4, the symmetry. That's number 5. Number 5. Number 5 here will be continuity. And we need the symmetry.
There is no axis symmetry.
There is no axis of symmetry for the function. No symmetry. And number 6, we need to find at which interval the function, the end behavior.
Alright. So when x goes to negative infinite.
Mister, what's symmetry again?
Symmetry, there is no line of symmetry. There is no line. If you draw this line, you will find that you can flip the figure.
Okay.
That's a line of symmetry. Okay.
So limit of f of x is infinity as x is going to infinity.
When x, برضو, again. When x tends to positive infinite at the right side, you will find that the function tends also to positive infinite. And number 7, the interval of increase and decrease. The function is increase
at 0.
Increase.
It's increase
From 0 to
at 0.
0 to positive infinite.
from
So-
0 to positive infinite.
That's it.
Any problem?
For 6, you wouldn't write the left.
Which, sorry?
So for number 6, you just wouldn't write the What would
Because
happen
there is
then?
yes, because there is only one arrow here.
Okay.
No, sir, but isn't it also when x
When
is
x
going
is
to
tends
zero,
to
f of x
zero,
is going
the
to
function also is going to be zero.
zero. Do you have to write that too, or no?
If you want to write it, no problem. But I need only the one. I need only the one which has an arrow for this one.
Okay.
Okay. Any problem for this one? Okay. For number 2, how we can graph that? The absolute value function. It's
So it's gonna be
represented
like a
as
V.
V shape.
V.
That's it, the V shape. Okay. So how we can graph this one? How we can find the domain?
The domain
is
is
all real numbers.
Sorry?
Equals zero.
I need only one.
All real
Negative
numbers.
infinity to positive infinity.
Okay, so it
Oh,
will be
All real numbers.
all real numbers.
all real numbers. So the domain is R. All numbers. You can replace X with any number. But what is the range?
More than or
Y is
positive
greater than
infinity.
or equal to 0.
Y is greater than or equal to 0. Number 3,
Which is
X-intercept,
0.
X zero.
0.
Y is also
And
0.
Y-intercept
Zero.
is also equal to 0. And after that, we need to find there is a symmetry or not.
Yes,
Yes.
there
Yes,
is.
at
X
When
equals
x
zero.
equals to
Y,
zero.
Y,
X equals zero. X.
Y-axis is the axis of symmetry. With the Y-axis is the axis of symmetry. It means this
Can you say,
function
sir,
will
What do you? Yeah. Okay.
be Y-axis is the axis of symmetry.
Yeah, can you say x at x equals zero?
Yeah.
What is the meaning at x equals 0? It means
Yeah,
there is a symmetry. When you say x equals 0, it means there is a symmetry at point. The symmetric now for point or for line?
No, it's a line. Sir, so the line of x equals zero.
Just 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. There is a symmetry for line or for point?
For line.
Okay, so if you want to find a line, just write the equation of a line or the name of the line.
Yeah, the equation of the line of the y-axis is x equals zero, right?
So you have to write the equation of the line is x equals 0. But why won't make it hard for yourself?
In this example, for example, if it was like a different question.
Wallahi, Omar, now I'm talking about the parent function. The parent function. So the reflection now for this line is, this graph is y-axis. When I just say x equals 0, what's x? So please, if you want to write it as x equals 0, write it and I will say it wrong. No problem. Omar, please, Omar. Yani in each time, you try to find anything to find it in an inverse way. خلاص? Maybe. So number 5. Before we continue, we shift to number 5. This function will be even or odd? Or not even, not odd?
Even.
Why even? Why even?
Because both of the ends are going in the same direction.
No, they're not.
Yes, sir. It's even function.
This function is even or odd?
Even.
Even? This one.
Yes.
Even.
This one is even?
Odd.
Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel.
This is odd.
This one is odd? Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel.
It's a neither. It's even.
It's neither? Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. Why neither? Why even? Why odd?
It's even because it's the power. It's the second
the
degree.
power of 2.
Second degree.
Did I say that before? Wallahi haram. I said it's not because of the power is 2, the function will be even. The power is 2, it means the function is not odd. 2, 4, 6, 8, the function is not odd. It's not odd, but it's not necessary to be even. You need to check if the function is even or not even. Power 2, power 4, power 6, any even power, it's not an even function. It's not necessary to be even function. It's not odd. If the power is even, the function is not odd. Halas. The power is even, the function is not odd. The power is odd, the function is not even. Halas? The function, now again for this one, the power is even, the function is not odd. the power is odd, the function is not even. But because the power is even, it's not necessary to be the function is even function. What is the meaning of even function? حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل.
When you put the negative value of x and it gives the same value when x is equal to positive.
This one, the other definition. That's the first definition. I need the second one.
So when there's an exact symmetry of the graph, like
there is a symmetry here for this one.
Yeah.
There is a symmetry, and this one is not even. Oh. If there is a symmetry across the y-axis, again, because of this one, because of that I said y-axis, if there is a symmetry across the y-axis, then the function is even. If there is symmetric respect to the origin point, reflection, there is a symmetry respect to the origin point, 1 point, it means this function will be odd. That is the first definition from the graph, directly from the graph. If you find that the figure, you can find a line of symmetry, which is y-axis, it means the function is even. Y-axis, the function is even. The point of symmetry is the origin point, it means this function will be odd function. That's from the graph. Algebraically, just replace, when you find that, how we know that function is even or odd? If you find that f of x is equals f of negative x, it means this function is even function. If you find that f of negative x is equal negative f of x, it will be odd function. Number 5. Number 5.
Continue.
Continuity.
Number 6.
When x approaches to negative infinity, y approaches to positive infinity.
Limit. When x is approached to be negative infinity, the function is approached to be positive infinity. Limit. When x approaches to be positive infinity, the function is approached to be positive infinity. I need number 7. Number 7.
Decreasing from the
decreasing
from negative infinity to 0.
From negative infinity to 0. Both of them must be open and increase from 0 to positive infinity. Any problem for this one?
Sure. I have one question.
What?
Why is it decreasing from the negative infinity? Alright, I got it.
Wallah, even if you didn't get it, I will not give you the answer.
I don't get this.
Even if you didn't know this answer, wallah, I will not give you the answer. Daily, I have to stay 1 hour with increasing and decreasing. Khalas, cancel from the curriculum. So, vertical and the horizontal translation. As we say that for the transformation of the function, how many types of transformation?
So, reflection, translation.
The first one?
Translation.
Okay. The second one?
Rotation. Reflection.
Rotation for the function. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel.
Oh no, sorry, reflection.
Dilation.
Number 3? Dilation.
Wait, sir, can't you rotate if you make x is No, never mind. That's just different reflections.
It's meaning if you have parabola and you rotate it, it will be by this way. The new shape now will be function.
Yeah.
Habibi. If you have a line, if you rotate it and it becomes vertical line, the new graph will be function.
No.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Well, if I'm playing here with you and not explaining anything, Allah will not give me this answer. Alhamdulillah. Habibi. Now I'm talking about the function, not the geometric shape. Wallah. Habibi. Right. The type of transformation. When we know that we have transformation, reflection, and dilation. I think that we explain it more than 100 times.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the translation?
Translation is either on x-axis or y-axis.
Okay.
Is the shift on what?
How you know that the type of the transformation that we have is translation, not reflection, or not dilation?
Yes.
We compare it to the parent function and see
Sorry?
what changed. We compare it to the parent function and see what changed.
حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل.
So what's your question?
It depends on the function. It's the x and y, right? X negative y.
حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل.
Sir, can you repeat your question, please?
Again, how you know that this, just 1 minute, how you know that this transformation is translation, not from the graph. Leave the graph. There is no graph now. There is no graph. Again, one more time. There is no graph. How you know from the function, if the function written in the form of f of x equal expression. How you know that?
When it is added, when there's a value
Added and subtracted.
Added and subtracted, that's translation. Transformation. So the first one, translation. That's only when you add or subtract to the parent function. Add or subtract to the parent function. Number two, how you know that's reflection?
When
It's multiplied by negative
x-axis.
Only multiply by negative, not multiply by a negative number. Only multiply by negative.
Yeah, negative 1.
Only -1, not -2, not -3. When you know that we have a dilation,
Multiplication or division.
multiply. Just 1 minute to change the color.
Or divide.
By number. Multiply by a number. Multiply by, or divide. Divide, it's mean multiply by a fraction.
Yeah.
So what is the difference for the transformation? Translation. Translation. When we say that this translation affect x or affect y. When we say that this reflection affect x or y. This dilation affect x or affect y.
By the bracket.
By the bracket. Alhamdulillah. Inside the bracket,
X.
x. Outside the bracket,
Y.
y. Inside the bracket, affect x with inverse operation. Outside the bracket, affect y with the same operation. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Wallahi. Alhamdulillah. So we can say that all of them inside the bracket, I'll change the color. Different. Okay. Inside the bracket,
Opposite function.
affect x with inverse operation. Outside, affect y with the same operation. Any problem?
No.
If you didn't understand this one, we can repeat it. This you have to memorize it. No way.
Yes, can you repeat it?
Again for this one, for any parent function. You remember the parent function that we have? What is the parent function? The parent functions. Suppose that for the quadratic function, f of x equals x raised to the power 2. If you find the new function g of x, it becomes x power 2 plus or minus any number, like plus or minus 5. Because there is plus or minus. You will not find the plus and minus at the same equation. You will find that the first one plus, or you find that x power 2 minus 5. It means the type of the transformation that we have now is translation. If you find the function that we have h of x is equal negative x power 2, if you find that we multiply by negative, it means this function now will be reflection. If you find p of x which equals 2x power 2, you multiply by a number, even if this number is a number or a fraction, it's mean dilation. Just to compare between the original one and the new function that you have. Which operation that we have? If you find plus or minus, it's mean translation. If you find that you multiply by -1, it's mean reflection. To find that multiply by a number, it will be dilation. This is the type of the transformation. Without memorizing this one, without repeating more than one time, no way. You have to memorize it. You have to memorize it.
Can you put this on Telegram?
Okay, I will put this page, no problem. But you will find at the worksheet. You will find here at the worksheet. You find that's plus k and minus h. So anything happen inside the bracket affect x with the inverse operation. Anything outside the bracket affects y with the same operation. So how we can differentiate between them? Now we have the function, the parent function that we have f of x equals the absolute value of x. Okay? We need to find what is the type of the transformation that we have. For the first one, that's inside the absolute value or outside? What is the type of the transformation for the first one and the first? What is the type of the transformation?
On y-axis.
What is the type of the transformation?
Translation.
Translation. Why you know that? Why we know that translation? Because we add. If you compare between the first one is f of x equal the absolute value of x. The difference between the first one and the second one, that we add 4. It means the type of the transformation that we have, which is translation.
So we bigger by 4, higher by 4. Sorry.
So this transformation inside the bracket or outside the bracket, inside the absolute value or outside?
Outside.
Outside. It means a fixed y. Fixed y, it means it's going up or going down. That's why. X, it means right or left. So now it will be, by adding 4, it will be y with the same or inverse operation?
Same.
The same operations. Mean it's going up 4 units. It means we have translation 4 units up. So how you can find the graph now? That is the first one. That is the original one. That is the absolute value. It's passing through the origin point. But the new one, it's going 4 units up. That is the new graph. That's how the graph will be look like. Now for question number 4. What is the type of the transformation? Translation.
3 units left.
How we know that translation? Because we have plus or minus. Because that's inside, it will affect x. X, it means it's going right or left. But when you say that x with the inverse operation, with the inverse, x with inverse, plus, what is the meaning of plus? The normal, plus, it's going right or left?
Right.
But because that's inside the bracket, it will be with the inverse, it's going left. So it will be left 3 units. So how the graph will be look like? That is the first one, that's the original one, and the new one, 3 units to the left. What is the type of the transformation that we have for number 5?
Translation.
Translation. But we have 2 types of translation now. At the first, inside the bracket and outside the bracket. So the first one inside the bracket, which is?
2 units.
2 units.
2 units
Right. And outside the bracket, 1 unit down. Any problem for this one?
No.
So please solve question number 6, 7, 8 and send it to me, please. Now, the second type of the transformation that we have, which is dilation. Dilation, it means you compress or stretch the shape. If you compress the shape by compressing horizontal, the graph will be stretched vertical. You have compressed horizontal, it will be, and with a compressed horizontal, it will be stretched vertical. Or if you want to stretch horizontal, it will be compressed vertical. Any graph, if you want, please, if you are not using the mic, switch the mic. Any graph, if you compress horizontal, you will find that the graph is going up, it will be stretched vertical. Any graph, if you stretch horizontal, you will find that the graph will be compressed vertical. Any problem for this one? This one for statement. When we know that the graph will be compressed horizontal or stretched vertical, that's what we will know. If you multiply the graph, I will start from the vertical to make it easy to understand. The graph now have two options. Stretch vertical, so it will be compressed horizontal, or compressed vertical, so it will be stretch horizontal. If you multiply any number by 2, 3, 4, and 5, what will happen to the answer? The answer will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Now we multiply the function by a. Now we have two cases. The first one, multiply the function by any number is greater than 1. You will find that the answer will increase. The answer, which is y. The answer is increased. It means the function is going up. Going up, it means it will be stretched vertical. But when you multiply by a number, by a fraction, any number is greater than 0 and is smaller than 1, you will find that the answer will decrease. You will find that it will be compressed vertical. Because it's compressed vertical, it will be a stretch horizontal. So how we know that? At the first look at the graph. I will just take the only dilation part that I need. So look at the graph that we have now. So look at the function that we have. 1 over 4. 1 over 4, it's mean greater than 1 or greater than 0 and smaller than 1?
Greater than 0, smaller than 1.
It's mean now we have a dilation.
Yeah, compression.
Dilation. This dilation is, you multiply by a fraction, it's mean the function will be compressed vertical and stretch horizontal. So now we have compressed vertical and stretch horizontal. Now you multiply inside the bracket or outside the bracket? Outside the bracket. Outside the bracket, affect x or affect y? Y. So I need only, Shafi, please, if you are talking, you have two options, to increase your voice, to raise your voice, or, because I can't hear you. 1 over 4, it's mean, now we multiply by a fraction. Fraction, it means the answer now will be compressed. You compressed vertical and it will be stretched horizontal. Because you multiply by a number outside the bracket, it will affect y. Y, it's mean I need only the vertical part. So no need for the horizontal part. So it's mean now we have a dilation by compressing vertical. So the function will be compressed vertical. You understand this one? Again for the function.
No,
Again for the function. When I say, just a minute.
Sir, is it sent?
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
When we have any function, suppose now I'm talking about the function f of x equals x to the power 2. For the new function f of x equals 5x power 2. Now you multiply by a number, by a. A now, what is a? A is greater than 1. What is the meaning of a greater than 1? It means you will, the answer will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase. So it will be stretch vertical and compressed horizontal.
Horizontal.
Okay, so now you will multiply inside the bracket or outside the bracket?
Outside.
Outside the bracket. It's mean you need the part for x or for y?
For y.
So I will say that now we have a dilation, which is a stretch vertical. What if I say f of x equals 5x to the power 2? Now I'm multiplying by a is greater than 1. That is the same function, but I multiply now with 5, but 5 inside the bracket. So I will say the same. Now multiplying by 5. 5 is greater than 1. It's mean we have a stretch vertical and a compressed horizontal. You multiply inside or outside the bracket?
Inside.
Inside the bracket. So you need the x or y?
X.
X, it's mean I don't need the vertical part. It will be dilation by compressing horizontal. You understand this part? That is the same. I multiply both of the function by 5. But for the first one, because there is no bracket, it affects y, it will be stretched vertical. And the second one, because it's inside the bracket, it will be compressed horizontal. Again, for this one, when I say the function f of x equals 1 over 5x to the power 2. Now the function, now multiply by a is greater than 0 and is smaller than 1. What is the meaning of a greater than 0 and smaller than 1? It's mean we multiply by a fraction. multiply by a fraction, what will happen to the answer? The answer will increase or decrease? Decrease. It means it will going down. Going down, it will be compressed vertical. Because it's compressed vertical, it will stretch horizontal. Now we multiply with the bracket or outside the bracket? Outside. This means I need only the y part, the vertical part. So no need for the horizontal. So we have dilation by compressing vertical. But when I say f of x, the same function equals 1 over 5x all to the power 2. Now multiply by 1 over 5. 1 over 5 is greater than 0 and is smaller than 1. It means
compressed.
And now we have the same compressed vertical and stretch horizontal. So it will be, now we have a dilation. But I need inside the bracket, so I need the horizontal part, so we need for the compressing. So it means we have dilation by stretching horizontal. Is it clear now for the multiplying?
Yeah.
For dilation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now suppose
I got everything except the last part. So.
what can you repeat again what I'm saying now? Just repeat. Only if you repeat. Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about the dilation, but I don't get the compressed and vertical.
I said my question, leave. خلاص. خلي يولي. There is no dilation, there is no transformation. When we say that we have the translation, when we have compressing, when we have stretching.
When it's dilation multiplied by x.
Well, I didn't say multiply by x.
Because like 5x squared.
Well, I didn't say multiply by x. Wallahi, I didn't say multiply by x. Oh. I didn't say multiply by x. My question is, repeat what I'm saying now. If I repeat it, Wallahi, I will explain it. If you didn't repeat it, just repeat what I'm saying now. I solved 4, for example. Before that, it was 2 above. So it means 6. 6, and you didn't hear anything. It means you was playing in another place. So I will not explain it again. You have 2 options now. To repeat what I'm saying, only repeat. Wallahi, I will explain it. If you repeat, Wallahi, I will explain it even 100 times. Can you repeat? No. So, we can go to the next part. Suppose that we have a function now, f of x equals x to the power 2. Now I'm talking about the reflection. Leave now the dilation. Now I'm talking about the reflection. When we have reflection, if you multiply the function by negative. If you multiply the function by negative. So now we are looking for the first one, if I say f of x equals negative x to the power 2. What is the meaning of negative x to the power 2? It means we have reflection. You multiply inside the bracket or outside the bracket?
Outside.
Outside the bracket. It means it will affect x or y?
Y.
When you change the sign of y. When you change the sign of y, the reflection will be for x or for y? Can you remember with me the reflection?
X.
Now we have the point x and y. If you want to find the reflection respect to the x-axis, what would be the image?
X negative y.
X and the negative y. When you find x and y, and you need to find reflection respect to the y-axis.
Y and negative x.
No.
Oh wait, no.
Reflection respect to the y-axis.
Y comma y. Negative x and y.
In grade 12 and you can't. Okay, negative x and y.
I said that.
You said y and negative x.
I said negative x plus
So I
y.
give you the option. If you remember, when I say raise your voice.
Okay.
Without raising your voice, don't ask me about anything. Wallah, I will not suffer to hear you. Just raise your voice. خلاص? So now we have here just multiplying by negative times x. Outside the bracket, it means affect y. Because it's affect y, So the change in y, when we change on y, it means we have reflection across x-axis. But when we say that for the function, when I say f of x equals negative x all to the power 2. Now we change inside the bracket. Inside the bracket, it affect x or y. Affect x or y. X. What will happen when you change the sign of x? It means the reflection will be for x or for y. Changing the sign of x. Changing the sign of x. Reflection on y-axis. That's the reflection for y-axis. That's all of that are formula. You have to memorize it. There is no option. You have to memorize it. Without memorizing, you will not be able to solve. For the formula, if you memorize, you will solve. If you will not memorize, you will not solve. That is the problem for the formula. If you memorize the formula, you will be able to solve. So again, if you have here for a point x and y, if you want to make reflection on x, you change the sign of y. It means when you find that we change the sign of y, now we make a reflection for x. But when you say that we change the sign of x, it means the reflection will be for y. So we can solve this one. Number 11. Number 11. What is the type of the transformation that we have for number 11?
We have a translation.
Translation.
Across the y-axis.
Translation inside or outside?
Outside.
Outside. It will affect y. By shifting
4 units down.
4 units down. 4 units down.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one. Number 10. What is the type of the transformation that we have?
Reflection as well as dilation.
We have two types of transformation now. The first one, because you multiply by a negative, it will be reflection. The second one, because you multiply by a number, it will be dilation. So the first one, we're looking inside the bracket. So we have dilation. So dilation. Which type of dilation? You multiply by a number, which you multiply by a. What is the value of a now?
Less than 1, more than 0.
More than 0, and a small, not negative 1. I didn't say negative 1. I say dilation. I'm talking about dilation. I didn't say reflection. Multiplying by. For dilation, just take the positive part. A must be positive. We are not talking about negative. Negative only. Only negative is reflection. Only negative is reflection. Negative sign. Because we have negative sign, it's reflection. But when you multiply by any number, deal with this number as a positive number. Even when I say negative 3x power 2. Negative 3x power 2, two type of transformation. This one is reflection. This one is dilation. Don't deal with negative 3 as one number. Negative 3 is two parts. One part is negative, the other part is a number. Close? So now we have a dilation, which is a greater than 0 and smaller than 1. When you multiply by a fraction, what will happen to the answer?
Compressed.
Compressed. No. The answer is x or y?
For x.
Y.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Answer is y. Answer is y. The answer is y. Because y is depend on x. The function.
Yeah.
Y depend on x. If you change the value of x, y will be changed. What is the meaning of y? The answer that you will find. By increasing the number of items, you will pay too much. You are going for shopping, you want to purchase, for example, I need to purchase 1 pen or 1 marker. So by increasing the number of markers, number of, which is x, by increasing the number of markers, the price will be increased. You understand it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will only finish this one because we finished from 10 minutes. So compressing what?
Horizontally.
Compressing vertical. That's the answer. Compressing vertical and stretch horizontal. Wallahi, without memorizing that, you will not be able to solve. I try to make you understand it, but the problem you خلاص, I can do anything more.
I just get confused between
Okay.
those two.
Again, for this part, if you multiply by a fraction, what will happen to the answer? The answer will going up or down?
Down.
Down. What is the meaning of going down? It's compressed what? Vertical or horizontal? خلاص.
Okay.
The answer will going up or down?
Down.
Down. Down is mean compressing vertical. Because it's compressing vertical, it will be wider. It will be stretched horizontal. So now inside the bracket mean X or Y?
Stretch horizontal.
So I don't need the vertical part. I need only the horizontal part. So it will be a stretch horizontal. Because you multiply now by negative, it means we have reflection. What is the type of reflection that we have? You multiply outside the bracket. It means you change the sign of Y. When you change the sign of Y, it means the reflection will be for x-axis.
Yes.
Without memorizing, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So we finish for today, inshallah. And I will send the video as soon as possible, maybe today or tomorrow. And the quiz today, inshallah, will be at 5 p.m. So now, please, I need all of you to send me your email, your name with email, please, because I will send you the link on your email. Yes, in Telegram, on the group. I will open the group now. Just 1 minute. I will open the group and you can send the message. Don't send it outside the group. Just send it on the group. I will make the permission now that you can.
Did you check one?
Just a minute, يا عمرو والله. يعني مش عارف. Your answer is right, Amr. Check now. Your answer is right. So right now, please write in the group. I need you to write your name, your email, please, because I'll send you the link on email. I will send the link on email, even in Telegram. So I will do as much as possible. So please complete your name now. Okay? Assalamu alaikum.